Timesplitters 2 was an action-adventure FPS that was released in 2002. I always thought this one was made by the team at Rare, the guys that are responsible for 007, GoldenEye, and Perfect Dark, but it's actually not. It turns out that 15 months before the release of Perfect Dark, several members of the team decided to leave and form their own company, and that company was known as Free Radical Design. The similarities to the aforementioned titles is very apparent in the Timesplitters series. You could tell this was a game created by the guys that did GoldenEye, and that's okay, because that game wasn't broken, especially in this time frame. We wanted more of that, and we got it here. And with the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation already in our rear view, we wanted something more. We wanted a new couch split-screen shooter. Now, Timesplitters 1 was only on the PlayStation 2. It was an exclusive, so I actually wasn't introduced into the series until the second installment. This was in my friend's basement as a stupid 14-year-old kid, but we had so much fun with this game, and I'm just truly happy and thankful for that time. This is going to be a deep dive retro review, and I'm going to be going into all aspects of this game. Now, if that's something that sounds like it's going to scratch that nostalgic itch for you, then great, I hope you enjoy this video. But as a kid, I actually didn't own this game and all I played was the multiplayer. So if you're like me and that's all you really want to see, then you can skip to the end of the video, because I'm going to be reviewing that separately, because it's a whole separate beast of its own.
Out of the darkness they came with a hateful will to destroy humanity. We fought long and hard, but now we are lost, for they have taken their evil war into our past. Traveling through time, they have...
Now, if I'm going to be honest here, the story here is pretty stupid. It's mostly just a vehicle to keep the player moving in as many different places as possible. The Timesplitters themselves also look completely ridiculous. I mean, they have, like, teeth for a face and, like, these weird dicks popping out of their mouth. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's fine. It's still a good game. It's part of the charm, too. I don't know. But basically, they've stolen the time crystals, and you have to get them back before the fabric of time is destroyed. Whatever. It's not really important. Just give me the guns, put me in a fun place, and let me do some shooting.
Incoming! On your right!
Now, my first few moments with this game were actually pretty rough. They actually start you off with the controls as inverted, which is a just terrible design choice. It's pretty brutal at first, but you can actually go to the options menu and tweak the controls however you want. It's actually pretty extensive what you can do. And back in the day, you know, this was pretty much in every game, and you don't see it as much anymore in today's gaming world, so it's nice. It's a nice touch to have. Now, unfortunately, the problems don't end there. When you go to aim in this game, it's very frustrating. The crosshair tends to stay in the middle of the screen. No matter when you move it, left, right, up, down, it will always find its way back to the center. This is a pretty difficult thing to deal with while playing a first-person shooter, and you actually benefit by not enabling the aim function and just letting the gun auto-lock on and take your shots. The enemies also tend to move around a lot, so you will miss your shots when you bring up the crosshair. It is just gonna happen, and it's gonna be really frustrating, and you're gonna be dealing with this every time you want to pinpoint something. This is a first-person shooter, and aiming is one of the biggest issues in the game. I mean, just look at this. Now, my favorite part about this level were the zombies. They come out of nowhere and they just completely flip this level on its head. They attack the guards and they just take so much damage. I mean, just look at this guy attacking me with these little nubs. I mean, this was great for its time, and it was so unexpected in this game.
I am in Untouchable!
Now this guy wasn't ridiculously hard to kill or anything, but it was still really fun. Also, I feel like it's worth mentioning that some of the areas can be pretty dark and creepy at times. It's not terrifying, you're not scared, but some of the zombies can sneak up on you, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, coming up on the end of this level, things got pretty hairy. I almost died a couple times. This boss was pretty rough. It was just a helicopter, but it was pretty accurate, and you also had to deal with these other guys. They're these henchmen, and they keep spawning at each end of the map, so you're constantly dealing with them. You're getting shot at from overhead from the helicopter, and the whole encounter can be pretty stressful. And I'm not gonna lie, I got the shit kicked out of me. That being said, I did get through it. It was pretty rough, and it was probably the most challenging the game got for me, just because I didn't quite understand the mechanics, and I didn't understand a couple of things, like one of them being the fact that there's objectives, and if you don't complete them, you don't finish the level. There's also secondary objectives. That's a whole nother bag of worms. But yeah, there was a time I completed the level and didn't do one of the objectives, and I had to restart it. So yeah, that's just that mission structure that was adapted from GoldenEye, and they brought it back here, and you know what, it ended up being pretty fun in the long term, but also can be kind of annoying when you just want to get through it.
Chicago. And I've had a belly full of it. Everyone's on the take. The DA, City Hall, even the cops on the beat, being paid to turn a blind eye. But me? Nah, I couldn't.
So this was the second level of the game, and it has this bootlegger Chicago mobster theme to it. And I gotta say, they really missed the mark here. The weapons are bad, the level design's bad. They do a couple of bad things here, and I really started to think that I made a poor decision in buying an older game and trying to review it, because sometimes, you know, age in these situations definitely shows. They have this terrible escort mission, which I feel like even games of today didn't learn from, but it's just really slow and boring. And then they even have the audacity to make a sniping section, and oh man, it is balls. I mean, the sniping and the aiming in this game is already ass cheeks. I've been over that, but man, does this one hurt. And to be honest, that's all I want to say about it. I don't even care. Fuck this level. Let's go on to the next one.
Gates of heaven will be opening for me. Are you a believer, my pretty girl? The angels will come and you will see your destiny.
Holy shit.
So pure, so innocent.
Alright, so after that weird BDSM intro we got there, I was pretty hyped to see what was going to go on. And I'm not going to lie, this level did not disappoint. It was pretty great. Truthfully, the level was just filled with surprises, and things like this happened a lot throughout the level, where they just, you know, lock you in a room and a bunch of zombies just, you know, appear on fire, and they just start swinging at you, and you feel a little claustrophobic, but I like that. You know, give me some surprise, give me something to keep me on my toes, and I really respect what they were doing here. I also really love this one section. There were these maidens you had to save, and they were just surrounded by a bunch of zombies. As you can see, I got a lot better at the shooting in this game. The shotguns really help. But anyway, you had to save these maidens, and, you know, you just kind of take them off their shackles, and then at one point, I kind of looked at this one maiden, and she looked really weird, and I was like, what's going on here?
Don't be suspicious. 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 Don't be suspicious.
Whoa. Yeah, it was a fucking zombie. I mean, I walked right past it, and it was just another one of those things. Keep you on your fucking toes. This next section was just absolutely awesome, too. I mean, you get to this one area, there's a maiden on a rope, you help her out, but then this badass hunchback comes by, and he's just ripping dudes with this shotgun. And he looks jacked up, but he's great. I mean, usually AI companions can be, finicky and they'll miss their targets, but this guy fucked. I mean, he hit everything. I mean, just look at this dude. No shot, bro. I'm not fucking with him ever. And just when I thought things were gonna start slowing down a little bit, this giant demon walks through the door.
Surprise, motherfucker!
And he just stares at you with this look of death and starts shooting laser beams at his face while all his friends shoot their little green shit out their mouths. And it is just a wild scene. I didn't expect it at all. It was probably my favorite in the game. It was so much fun, and what a good boss battle. Just this wide open area in the church. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this for the time period. So after that section, you're led to this rooftop where it's really atmospheric. I mean, it's raining, there's the pale moonlight shining, and this is where you fight the final boss, Jacques de l'Amour or something like that. And you kind of just shoot him a bunch and he just keels over and dies. I mean, it's a pretty big joke of a boss battle. I guess the developers were kind of like, we just did something epic, let's slow it down here a little bit and just give him something easy. I mean, I killed the shit out of this guy. He was a joke. Jacques de l'Amour. Yeah, right. Okay, cool guy. I guess it was supposed to be like Jack the Ripper. But, yeah, I mean, the section was over just like that. I mean, really cool looking, very atmospheric, but it was fast. But this was the moment I said to myself that I'm going to finish this game. And I'm really happy I did it, and I stuck with it, and I kept going. So let's get on to the next one. So in Return to Planet X, you're, right off the bat fighting some typical looking UFOs. I mean, they didn't really try too hard on the design here, but the aliens look pretty cool and the guns are pretty great here. So that definitely made up for some of the lack of design choices, I'd say. I really loved the shooting mechanics in this level. The guns ricochet, and you can see right here, I shoot it off the wall and hit the guy in the freaking back, and it's awesome. The only problem is I ended up shooting myself with this ricochet more than the aliens. It can be pretty unforgiving, but it was pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. Just angling shots like that, it's a pretty good time. They also had this turret section that I thought was pretty cool, because these alien ships just drop off a bunch of guys and you're left on this giant turret and you're just ripping the shit out of these guys and you're just picking them off one by one. I always like these sections. They can be pretty fun as long as they're not overdone or annoying, and it was fine here. And then they had this stuff when you had to shoot these bugs coming out of this bug hive, and I don't care what anybody tells me, that is a asshole shitting out bugs, and that is ridiculous to have in this game. But anyway, you gotta pinpoint shoot these guys, and sometimes they blow up in clusters, sometimes they don't. It was super annoying, and it just was not my vibe. What I was vibing was the music, though. I mean, it had this cool techno-y alien rave club vibe, and I was just into it the whole time. Listen to this stuff. Cool music aside, I mean, they threw you back into another turret section, and by this point of the level, I was really done with it. I was really over this one. I also got lost for a long time. I could not find my way around, and I had to find a crystal or something. And yeah, you could probably put that on me. Maybe you could put that on the poor level design. Whichever, it's somebody's fault. Let's blame the game. How about that? Let's blame the game, not me. I feel better doing that. fuck the game, alright? Definitely not me getting lost. Definitely not me missing something that's right in front of my face. No shot. But anyway, the boss battles here were just the actual time splitters themselves, and they just phase in and out and shoot lightning at you, and it was pretty hard. Not the hardest. You know, some of the boss battles in this game really varied from just a couple of enemies to an epic boss fight, and that's cool. I like that they switch it up. This level was good. It just wasn't my favorite. Oh man. See, this was the best time in gaming. This is when the Matrix had the cultural influence on everything. Like, you could play any game and see, you know, something ripped from that, like Conker's Bad Fur Day, you know, everything. You know, the kung fu, the music. It was such a good scene, and yeah, I really loved that one. And then they kind of just throw you into this, and it's a little disorienting, and you're just following this girl, and you know, I didn't really know what to do here, and so I kind of just went into it. This was my first run, so I made the mistake of just walking past her, and I had no idea this was a stealth mission. So I'm just punching the shit out of this girl, and all of a sudden, you know, you get that failure, and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a different one, so let's just restart here. You see, the problem with this is that up until this point, this game has been strictly a shooter. And now they've completely changed the formula. So what happens is, if you don't look at your objectives in the very beginning, you're really screwing yourself over in this game, and you can never really just jump right into it. So now this game is turned into Metal Gear Solid of sorts, and you're watching vision cones on your radar. And once they see you, I mean, the mission's over. You have to restart. So you're restarting a lot, and you have to watch this character complete her walking animation. It's almost as bad as an escort mission, but it's not the same, because you have to watch it all the way through. You have to follow them, and oh man, she walks so fucking slow. It was really, really rough to get through this one. Fuck. Alright, so where's the girl? She's not on the radar. Oh, there she is. What the fuck? Why? Oh, what the fuck is that? I didn't get here fast enough, so the lasers went up? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Ugh. Alright, nice. I got past that stupid part. Alright, hacker's password. What do I have to do now? What? Why? Nothing is clear, man. Alright, so maybe I just gotta watch her. I have no idea. Okay. Weird walking animation. Alright, now I get it. Great. So eventually I realized there's alternate routes you could take, and you could pick up some weapons, and it definitely helps because you can then shoot out some of the cameras. Unfortunately, you have to aim to do that, so yeah, give me 1 second here. Ugh, the aiming in this game is like painful to even re-watch myself play it. But yeah, once you take out these cameras, it's definitely a little easier. And I finally got past the stealth section, and you get to this underground lab, and I don't know how this guy didn't see me, but great. And then I have to aim at this turret, and oh boy. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 shots for one turret, man. It just seems like a lot. And then at one point of the mission, you pick up a camera, and this is when it kind of felt like really James Bondy, which I thought was great. You know, this is cool. You know, taking pictures of evidence and, you know, uploading it to servers and stuff like that. I found this part to be great. What I thought was complete bullshit, though, was after all that time avoiding the alarms, you end up setting it off anyway, of course, and then this weird section happens here, and it's like a time splitter transfusing with a person. This guy's just like seizing out. This scene was fucking wild. And as you can see, I didn't know what the hell to do, so I was just shooting this dude, and he was just eating it. Nothing's happening. This guy's still twitching. And then, yeah, this was just a mess on my part. I'm all over the place. I'm freaking out. This is bad. But what was wild was the guy's just gone. Like, I come back to the room and there's nobody there anymore. It was just so random, and I felt like it was a glitch, but I don't know. It happened and we moved on, and then like a boss battle happens. It's this girl again from the beginning with the scar face, and you get an alien weapon. Everything kind of gets a little crazy in the end. I was really close to death. I was a little panicky because if I had to restart this mission one more time, I might have stopped for sure. I don't think I would have continued if I got all this way and then didn't beat it. So I'm really happy I got away with this. This level was still really creative, and even though I struggled with it, I appreciate what the developers were doing. And I was left feeling like I just beat a Dark Souls boss. It was pretty euphoric. So I did enjoy this one, even though I complained a lot. Hey guys, so I'm actually going to split this one up into 2 parts. So this is going to be the end of the first part, and I'm going to work on the next part of the video, which is going to feature the rest of the game and the multiplayer. All that stuff is going to be included in the next video. So again, if you wanted to only see the multiplayer, you're going to have to click for that one. I'll probably have a link when it's done in this video. But as of right now, it's been taking me a really long time to make these videos. I started this one in, you know, the middle of 2022, and here we are in January of 2023. I work full time and got a little baby. She's sleeping up there somewhere. And then I got a big fat kitty on this side sleeping. So it's been pretty rough to get these videos done, but I will get it done. I hope you all enjoy this. Thank you so much for watching.